So Mark Zuckerberg actually has a new plan for Meta, and I'm not sure that this is going to be popular with everyone considering exactly what they're trying. So you can see right here that the Financial Times reported that Meta envisages social media filled with AI generated users and that they are rolling out a range of AI tools to drive engagement. Now, this is something that I think is really interesting because I'm actually 50-50 on this. And when you actually look at the research behind this, 50% it makes sense, and on the other 50% it doesn't whatsoever. So this is a little bit controversial, but the article is kind of fascinating because it talks about why Meta are doing this. So when we take a look, we can see that they talk about how we expect these AIs to actually over time exist on our platforms, kind of in the same way that accounts do. That's what Connor Hayes said, the vice president of the product for generative AI at Meta. And he said they'll have bios, profile pictures, and be able to generate and share content powered by AI on the platform. And that is where we see all of this going. So this is where you have some of the people that are at, I don't want to say the most powerful company in the world, but definitely one of the most influential company. They own WhatsApp, they own Instagram and Facebook. And of course, those companies dominate a large portion of social media. With that being said, if they see that where things are going, then I mean, it could be 50-50 because after all, this is the same company that did bet billions of dollars on the metaverse, and we all know how that turned out. But I believe that this one is a little bit nuanced because AI is definitely a new frontier. And when I show you some of the numbers on how people are using social medias with AI generated accounts, it's going to really shock you. You can see here that he said that a priority for Meta over the next 2 years was to make its apps more entertaining and engaging, which included considering how to make the interaction with AI more social. So you can see right here that Hayes said a priority for Meta over the next 2 years was to make its apps more entertaining and more engaging, which included considering how to make interaction with AI more social. He also said that hundreds of thousands of characters have already been created using its AI character tool, which launched in the United States in July with a plan to expand its access in the future, but most users have kept them private so far. Now, if you aren't actually familiar with what Meta have done previously in AI, they've actually experimented a lot more than other companies. And I think what they're trying to do is they are trying to rapidly iterate and see what sticks and then just run with that, because they do know that whatever it is that does stick, they don't want to miss that boatload wave of users that are going to be interacting with social media. And it's something that is, of course, really important because we do know that AI is going to largely impact a variety of different industries, and social media is definitely ripe for disruption. Now, I don't think this is something that was probably going to work the way they think it is. And one of the ways which we can see Meta has experimented before we dive into some more stuff, is this chat with AI feature. Now, this was something that was essentially released in around 2024/2023, and this was something that had not much success. It was a really weird product, and you can see right here from the screenshot, this was basically where you could talk to, AI-powered chatbots that were designed to mimic unique personalities, interest, and conversational style. Now, these were available across Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, and WhatsApp, and they essentially brought this out to try and enhance user interaction and engagement. Now, they introduced 29 AI personas with distinct personalities in areas like sports, travel, cooking, and more. Of course, you can see right here that you had Brew, a confident sports debater. You had a dungeon master, adventurous storyteller. But one of the most perplexing things that Meta did that most users just simply didn't understand was the fact that they actually took the likeness. In fact, they didn't take the likeness. They took the exact images of celebrities, but turned them into strange AI individuals. I think it would have been much smarter if they just actually used the actual famous individuals rather than doing something like this. But I'm guessing maybe they just didn't want to pay them. It was definitely really weird. Each of these personas had their own social media accounts, and you can see that when Meta actually tried this out, this was met with varying skepticism. You can see that one user posts that the weirdest thing about Meta AI's personas is that they're taking very recognizable celebrities and turning them into characters with different names. And the result is understandably mass confusion. why is this person called Billy and not Kendall AI? You can see the users are very confused. And like I said before, it does show that essentially Meta's business strategy here is to just keep rapidly iterating with AI and find out with the user feedback what sticks. And this was something that, we could see right here that it clearly didn't stick. Users were like, it's Kendall. What do you mean? That is so creepy. I just hope it's Kendall just saying she's Billy. What is happening with you? Are you Kendall? What is going on? And honestly, looking back, I don't know how they were sitting in a boardroom thinking that this is some kind of good idea. And I do have to say though, the only good thing about this with this yours Billy thing, or these AI characters that are going to be here, is that Meta actually does disclose anytime something is AI. Now, this is of course a good thing because we're actually going to, be able to tell at least the bots from the real individuals. And this is important when discussing the future of social media, as one thing I'll get into later is of course the dead internet theory. So you can see right here, it says about AI characters, what you should know. These are characters and profiles managed by Meta. And it talks about how generative AI is something that is basically kind of like humans. Now, we could also see the trailer for this. I mean, it's super fascinating. I'm only showing you this so you can understand the context of what Meta has done previously.
We built some AIs you can interact with, and then partnered with awesome people to play some of them to make them even more fun. Introducing Meta's AIs, with Tom Brady as Brew, ready to throw you his deep knowledge of sports.
Seriously? How could you not know that?
Naomi Osaka as Tamika, proving it's cool to geek out.
Time for a selfie.
Chris Paul as Perry. He's preaching the gospel of golf.
Drive for show, putt for dough.
Paris Hilton is Amber. She's taking a stylish bite out of crime.
Not to brag, but I am a forensic expert.
Mr. Beast is Zach. This dude's funny. Like, funny.
I'm not saying I know everything.
Israel Adesanya as Louise. He'll make sure you never tap out.
The more you know, the better you can move on the map.
Kendall Jenner as Billy. She'll always have your back.
I'll keep it real, but above all, I'll keep it on the DL.
Roy Choi is Max. Nix that delivery order. You're cooking in tonight.
Chef, what's on the menu today?
Charlie D'Amelio is Coco. Making sure you and your moves aren't sus.
Hey y'all, you ready to dance?
Snoop Dogg is Dungeon Master. Slay the games you love.
Your quest begins now, player.
So, if you're looking to explore your interests, learn a new skill, settle a debate, or just have fun, start using Meta's AIs.
Now, of course, like I said before, they announced this and of course it had varying success. By that, I mean it completely failed, to no surprise, and they are now focusing on letting people create their own chatbots. Now, the reason why I don't think this will work at first is because, of course, the dead internet theory. The dead internet theory is essentially the theory that the internet now consists mainly of bot activity and automatically generated content manipulated by algorithmic curation to control the population and minimize organic human activity. I'm not familiar with the second part about that stuff, but I do just think that there are a lot of websites that do have a lot of bots, but there is a part of this that could actually work. And I know that might be surprising. Filling a social media website with AI generated users might not sound like the best idea, but I do think on some level this could potentially work if it is done correctly. Having the famous people as AI bots doesn't make sense, but let me show you guys where there are instances where actually interacting with AI characters might become more commonplace than you think. Now, I'm quickly going to go on a detour here that this is already occurring in gaming. So I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with these games on screen. This is Fortnite, Warzone, and Apex Legends. They're just video games, but essentially Warzone had a decent amount of success with a game mode that allowed players to practice against bots and some real players. So basically, there was a game mode that was particularly difficult for many players. So it introduced a game mode in which you could actually play against AI bots that was much more relaxful. And some individuals actually reported that this was much more enjoyable. Like, you would initially think that, if you're playing against AI bots, it would be boring. But you can see here that one user says, I won't lie, I pretty much only play this mode when I play this game because I'm just a casual player who just wants to chill and have fun at the end of the day and not be stressed from playing others who play all day long and are far more advanced in the game than I am. And I think this is, very interesting because it could mark the first time where we shift from online experiences being about playing with real people than to playing with AI bots that simulate real people, but actually allow the user to have a greater satisfaction overall. I mean, when we think about it, the end goal is to get the user playing the game to actually enjoy the game. And if they can achieve that with bots, then maybe they might not even need to do that when it comes to that. Now, of course, there are a variety of different arguments and debates against this. Some people like the fact that they're playing against other humans, and I think that aspect will always remain there. But the point I'm trying to make is that, of course, it was done as well in Fortnite as well, with varying success. But if we actually take off the detail and go back to something like character AI, and we actually focus on certain characters and individuals, one of the most interesting things that people don't realize is that this is quite popular with the younger users. So one of the crazy things that most people aren't aware of, and you probably aren't aware of it, is because, you know, it's not part of your generation. You aren't using the software, but the younger generation are actually extremely addicted to character AI. You can see that one user on Twitter talks about how users go crazy in the Reddit when servers go down. And character AI is essentially a platform that allows users to engage in text-based conversations with AI-generated characters. Now, these characters can mimic real people, such as historical figures or celebrities, fictional personas, or entirely user-created personalities. And the platform is actually designed to deliver highly human-like and contextually relevant responses, creating an immersive and interactive experience. Now, this is something that is crazy because I've actually used it before to test out the software and see how good it is. And it's rather interesting because you can actually, you know, find a celebrity, you can call them, you can talk to them, and it's not as good as advanced voice mode, but it is good enough to the point where I think a younger person could talk to that thing for hours. I mean, a lot of the times these people are completely out of touch with their fans, and it's pretty easy to be able to, you know, talk to, let's say, Mr. Beast, talk to your favorite superstar. And of course, with voice cloning technology, it does actually sound like them. And it's pretty crazy because, like I said before, we all know that loneliness is a real big problem. But if you have, I mean, let's say you've got 100 different people that you could call a friend, you could call a girlfriend, you could call your future partner. I mean, it's pretty incredible that this technology exists. And when we do look at this right here, you can see users' feedback regarding why they're using character AI revealed a desperate need for emotional feedback. Romance and makeshift therapy seem to be two of the most common reasons why people go to these chatbots. The character psychologist has a staggering 83.8 million interactions on character AI, and it doesn't stop there. Most users also reported that they're using these chatbots for NSFW, not safe for work content like roleplay, although most platforms have applied regulations on inappropriate conversations. Now, the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is that if we have a situation where this is a new platform that has taken AI and has managed to get 20 million monthly users, 2 billion queries a day, could we see this as the evolution of social media? After all, social media is a platform where humans go to interact with one another, but if some people just simply aren't getting that interaction there, are they going to be more inclined to use a platform like Meta that is filled with AI-generated users that makes them have a greater experience? And considering the fact that this technology is only getting better and better and better, could it be possible that people would rather exist on a social platform that is filled with AIs as well as humans rather than one just with humans? After all, one of the things that I do realize about social media, I'm not sure if it's just my feed. I genuinely curate my social media feed all the times, but from time to time, there will be a few comments or a few things that I see that are just downright hateful. People being racist, people saying hurtful things, just a variety of things that I could never repeat on this channel, that I would never want to. But the point is that an AI would never do that. It would always foster something that is inclusive, something that is welcoming regardless of who you might be. And I think that is going to be something that Meta probably might do in the future, and that's going to be interesting to see the ramifications of that. Of course, I don't think I want the internet to be completely dead, and I think humans are always seeking another human connection, but we cannot discount the undeniable success of this younger generation. And I do wonder that if this is just something that the younger generation wants, or this is something that will translate into others as they continue to get older. So that is why I'm 50-50 on this, because right now it's like we're still in that experiment. So that being said, I'll see you guys